Hi guys, quick video today, just basically giving you a review on a bait that I started using last year to try it out, and it's been a good year now of trying it in all sorts of different venues, different places, and they do certain packs that you can buy online of it. So I just thought I'd give you my opinions on how I've used it, what I think of it, and how good it can and cannot be at certain times. What I'm talking about is Fuka bait. I think that's how you pronounce it. For a while I called it Fjuka, but Fuka baits I think is how they pronounce it. And this one that I've got here, this is what's called the Weekender pack. You can buy this on Amazon from certain stores as well and stuff like that. And in the Weekender pack you get your feed pellets. Now the feed pellets, they're about 4 or 5 mil size, and you get 3 colours. You get red, you get white, and you get yellow. Very good for, like I say, loose feeding in, maybe potting in if you're using a pole, put it in a cat pole, or even spread a few of them through your ground bait or into a PVA bag if you're using them on the bottom. You can use them on the hook. They are soft and hookable. Brilliant. They are exactly what they say they are. They're a soft hookable pellet. But they have a consistency that's a little bit different than what you might be used to from, say, other brands like Dynamite Baits or Nash or anything like that. They're not like a jelly, and they're not like an expander. They're almost like a Play-Doh, if you will, that kind of a texture. It sounds weird because you can mould it, you can shape it, you can change how it falls through the water layers. You can add more pellets to it so they stick together like a ball, and you can go from being a 5 mil pellet if you want up to a boilie size, whatever size you want it to be. You can mix the colours, so you can end up with a red, a blue, or a yellow, a white, and have it all different really freaky colours. You could use it, which I have tried, as a paste almost, and that is wrapping it round a boilie. So you've got your boilie on the end of your hair rig and squash them down, wrap them round it. It just adds that bit more colour and a bit of a different scent. Now, the scent that they use on these is weird. They call it something, I can't remember what the heck it's called. Let me see if it says it on here. No, it doesn't actually. Just give it a quick gander. No, they do have a weird name for this scent that they have on there. To me, it smells like garlic. It's like a very strong wild garlic smell to me. But I've not had any real issues with it. There's been days where it's not performed as well as, say, using corn or maggot, when I've been after things like crusions and tension, stuff like that. But it performs just as well as any other soft hooker I've used. I've used it for bream, I've used it for carp. I've had some excellent results on sort of carp from the £4 to £10 region, fishing a lake I know called Martin's here at Simpsons Valley. It's got a good head of carp in there as well as silverfish, and I'll use these pellets more often than not when I'm either using a waggler or the pole there. I have used them on the hybrid feeder and the banjo feeder as well, and as good as they are, I find they're better if you leave them out of the method feeder or the hybrid feeder. You know how you put your bait into it and mould around it? I'll leave it out and put my pellets there and leave the neon or these 4 mils or whatever sitting out, and they tend to hoover it up sort of, I'd say, more efficiently. It's as if they pick it up without being over cautious, but also without it being too fast a bite. You know, if you're using a hard pellet on a banjo or a hybrid feeder, I find your bites are phenomenal. You know, it whaps the rod round off the rod rest. With these, it's like they pick it up, mouth it, and then spit it out, because it's not the same as what's in that feeder. But if it's out of the feeder, they hoover it up as it's around there, and yeah, works great. The other things you get in the pack, just for the record, are what they call the neons. Now these are high visibility, and they're a bit bigger. They come in a tube. Now that's, of course, the white. You get yellows, orange, and like a pinky red. Now, like I say, all that there, those 3 bags, and in each bag there's about 1,000 pellets in each bag, is about 19 quid to buy. that will last you quite a few sessions. I know they call it a weekender pack, but that's going to last you for quite a few sessions unless you are piling in the bait. I mean, a tub of these, I only use these as hook bait, and these last me probably 4, 5, 6 sessions easy. I might sprinkle in 1 or 2 as a freebie to give you an idea of their component, if you will, or their texture. I'm going to take out a couple here. Just take out 2 of them, and I'll take out a yellow so we've got a visual reference here. Right, now in the form, that is the size of them, like that, and that is probably about 6mm pellet. This is neons. Like I say, they're bigger than the other ones, the bagged pellets, the feed pellets. And like I say, when they're like this, you just hook them, and you can hook them fine. They won't crack, they won't split, not unless they go dry, which they don't really seem to go dry. And they'll sit on the hook. You can hook them however you want. But say you're trying to represent bread and you want it falling through the water film, squash it like that, make it flat. That'll fall a lot slower, it'll flutter down. And when you've got fish feeding on the drop, or if you're fishing for carp and you've got them coming up to the surface as you're throwing in your bait and what have you, that's the thing to do with it, flatten it off. I've picked up so many good carp like this. I used it to great effect at the Weir fishery in Bude, which is about, I don't know what, 1.5 acre, 2 acre lake next to a cafe there that's got some cracking carp in it up to mid-double size. Using these on the pellet waggler. Oh, what a day I had. What a day. And yeah, like I say, flatten it, make it bread. The other thing you can do with it, like I say, is you've got the yellow one there, is you can just, it only takes a little bit of manipulation, and you can squash it down and make it into a sort of a piece of corn shape so that it looks like a nugget of corn. Or the other handiness of it, and it's really good again, especially if you're trying to get those smaller species like your roach or your rudd or anything that's being a bit finicky, roll it, turn it into a maggot. I say, once it's shaped, you can do what you want with it. You can roll it even thinner if you want. And like I say, if you want to make it a bigger bait and just add a bit of colour and attraction, if I do that, get another one of these out, yeah. Put the lid back on there, squash them together, like that. And they will stay together. You can mould them, roll them, whatever you want to do, manipulate them. And like that, stick that on the end of your method feeder. That's going to sit there lovely, multicoloured, visually standing out, nice representation of bait, and those fish are going to go, what is that? And it just takes, like I say, a few seconds just to manipulate them. You could even get them ready as you're casting in again, you know, or getting your next rig ready and getting hooked up. That nice little multi-3 ball. That's got yellow, red and white. And that will work great. Stick that on your end of your hair, or even hook it. Like I say, you can hook these easy. They're just like plasticine, and you can even tear it and have half, and you've got more. Yeah, like I say, it's fantastic bait for, you know, for having a range of uses and a range of applications. It really is, I'll give it that. Like I say, performance wise, I think you've got to just have confidence in it and mix and match. If you don't have confidence in what you're doing, it's not going to work. That is rule one, I find, of fishing and bait. If you're going to sit there with that on your hook and you go, it's a new bait, I don't think it's going to work very well, you're going to find that you're reeling in more, or you're recasting a lot more because you're checking it, you're trying to see it, and you're not going to get the bites. Whereas you stick a piece of corn on, you've got confidence in that, you know it's going to work, you cast it, you leave it. You'll leave it its full 6 minutes, 8 minutes every time, or whatever you want to leave it for. So have confidence in it and try it. Give it a go, you know, let it do what it's going to do. If it's not working, put on corn, put on maggot, put on bread, put on a hard pellet, and see if that gets the fish going. Once you know the fish are feeding, go back to it, see if it works. If it isn't, you know that it's not the bait for that water or for that day or those conditions. It's just not happening. But I've had very good results on it. Like I say, I've had carp so far up to, I'm going to say, the 16, 17 pound mark on it. Great. I've had lots of fish on it. I've had good nets of bream on it, good tension crusions on it. I've even had a perch. and that is when I shaped it into a maggot, had a bite, didn't hit it, striking, reeling in nice and slow, just sort of playing around with it, if you will, and this perch come out of nowhere and hammered it, bang, and it must have been like almost drop shotting me maggot, if you will. And yeah, I had a nice perch on it as well of 1.5 pounds, and that's unusual to get perch on pellets. But yeah, I'd recommend it. It's well worth it for 20 quid, and you get all that's going to last you quite a few sessions. Try it out. If not, these bags range, depending what shop you go to and where you go, from £1.99 a bag to I think £3.49 a bag, depending again what shop you go to and what you get. They have started doing a micro version, so I think it's between a 2 and 3 mil pellet, which is even better because you can add that to your method feeder or your banjo feeder, and it's going to almost react like similar to your proper wet pellets, if you will, for doing your method. They also have now released a black colour, which I've got coming hopefully Saturday, maybe Monday. Don't know when I'm getting out yet, I'm just getting everything ready. But yeah, the black pellets, I've looked at them, and you can make them shape like hemp, which is going to be excellent for targeting roach, I think. And of course, for some of your waters where different colours work best, black is a colour that I've found works really well in waters that have got that heavy brown colour. Black seems to work well for me on that. Don't know why I use black ground bait in there. Brilliant, I get a lot more results. So yeah, looking forward to trying the black ones out. They've just come out, and they also have started doing bigger sizes as well. So I'm hoping that they do like an 8 or even a 12 mil soft hooker like that, so I could put it onto a larger band or a larger hook and maybe target some bigger carp with it as well, like leave it out there and it won't get pestered by the small fish. They're not going to peck it to bits. You know, that's going to be interesting. I forgot to say that. You don't have to just put these on a hook. You can band them, you can spear them with a bayonet, anything. Very, very versatile. So yeah, I'll just sort of give you a little bit of a chomp on them. Some food for thought for your new season, for your fishing, to give it a try. And that is, like again, the name is Fuka, or Fjuka, whichever way you want to pronounce it. I'll leave it up to you. And well worth it for the money. Well worth it. If they don't work for you, they don't work for you. If they do, you've just found another bait. So there you go. Tight lines, enjoy, and see you soon.